Hello everyone, today we have a special episode dedicated to one of the most famous attributes in the comic book world, Wolverine's claws. We will dive into the history of this legendary character and his equally legendary claws, learn about their features and how they became the most recognizable attribute of the Marvel Universe. So stay with us, there's a lot of interesting stuff ahead, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss new videos. Let's go. The Marvel character, Wolverine, was created by writer Len Wein and artist John Romita in 1974. The story of Wolverine's creation began in the 1970s when Wein and Romita were working on a new character for the comics. They wanted to create a hero with animal aggression but also with his own moral values. They also wanted this hero to have mutant abilities that would allow him to survive in extreme conditions. Originally, Wolverine's claws were conceived as part of his costume. This was in the first comics. However, when writer Chris Claremont and artist John Byrne took over the development of the character, they decided that the claws would be a more interesting attribute if they were part of Wolverine himself, not his costume. This change added depth to the character and his story. The claws became a symbol of his wild nature and ability to defend himself, as well as his mutant essence. This decision also enhanced the mystical and mysterious image of Wolverine, making him one of the most recognizable and popular characters in the Marvel Universe. A mutant with serrated claws on his fists, the ability to regenerate tissues, and increased strength and speed. Since then, Wolverine has become one of the most famous and popular Marvel characters. His story has been featured in various comics, movies, animated series, and video games, and he continues to be a beloved character among comic book fans and superhero culture. The distinctive feature that made this character memorable was his adamantium claws. But could such bones exist in reality, and how dangerous would they be as a weapon? Let's figure it out. There are several reasons why Wolverine's claws cannot exist in the real world. The first reason is the material of the claws, namely adamantium. Adamantium is a fictional material in the world of comics that has supernatural properties, including incredible hardness, strength, and sharpness. Such a material does not exist in real life. The second reason is the extension of the claws. Wolverine is able to extend and hide his claws at will, which is also a fictional feature and does not correspond to the physiology of real beings. There are, for example, cats whose claws also extend. The claws of cats extend thanks to a unique anatomical feature that allows them to control the extension of their claws. They are not submerged inside the bones or muscles, but are simply hidden. This is necessary in order to always have sharp and honed claws. Pandas and bears also have similar claws. It is important to note that the claws of these animals are not like the adamantium claws of Wolverine from the comics and movies, as this is a fantastic feature of a fictional character, and moreover, without his insane regeneration, using his claws would be impossible, because he would simply die from blood loss as soon as he pulled out his claws. And in general, Wolverine's regeneration is one of the most iconic abilities in the Marvel Universe. It's not just a mechanism for quick healing, it's a symbol of his indomitable will and ability to withstand any challenge. Let's take a closer look at this unique feature. Wolverine's regenerative ability allows him to restore his body's tissues at an incredible rate. This means he can heal from almost any wounds, diseases, or toxins, and even recover from fatal injuries. This ability makes him practically immortal and invulnerable to many forms of physical damage. On a biological level, Wolverine's regeneration is a process that can be compared to hyperactivated healing. His cells divide and repair at an astonishing rate, allowing him to come back to life even after seemingly fatal injuries. This also slows down his aging, keeping his physical condition at the peak of its potential. The psychological aspect of regeneration is no less important. Wolverine is a warrior who has survived numerous battles and personal tragedies. His ability to regenerate reflects his inner strength and determination. Despite physical and emotional wounds, he continues to move forward, making him a true hero. Wolverine's regeneration also carries metaphorical meaning. It symbolizes the possibility of recovery and rebirth, reminding us that even after the hardest blows of fate, one can rise and continue the fight. This inspiring quality makes Wolverine one of the most beloved and respected characters. Thus, Wolverine's regeneration is not only a key element of his physical abilities, but also a profound symbol of his character and spirit. But let's still return to the claws. Is it possible to create such claws artificially. Creating claws in real life, similar to those possessed by the character Wolverine, is a complex technical task. However, some modern technologies could be used for such purposes. In general, it is possible to develop mechanisms that can be implanted into the human body and controlled by its muscles, as is the case with pacemakers and artificial organs. But right now, it would be difficult because the claws would have to be lightweight, durable, and capable of moving under the control of muscles that we do not originally have. To control the extension of the claws, of course, you could use a chip similar to what Neuralink does for the blind and people with movement problems, but they are still in the development stage, but in theory, they could solve this problem. It is important to note that the creation of such devices for implantation into the human body, besides the technical aspects, also entails ethical and legal issues that must be considered when working on such technologies, as this essentially amounts to human enhancement. And as we know, many, including religious institutions, are against such things. But even if we could create such claws and implant them into a human body, how good would they be as a weapon? Let's look at an example. In our history, there was a weapon that resembled Wolverine's claws in characteristics, and this weapon is the qatar. The qatar is a traditional Eastern weapon that is a symbol of Oman and other Arab countries. It is a double-edged bladed object consisting of two blades connected in the center by a short handle. The qatar is used as both a defensive and offensive weapon, and skilled owners can use it for striking, blocking, and pivoting. It can also be concealed and used in a strike from an unexpected attack. It is known that the qatar weapon has been in use since the 13th century, and nowadays it has become a popular item for collecting and traditional dances. The qatar weapon and Wolverine's claws have some similarities, but also significant differences. The qatar is a handheld bladed weapon consisting of two short blades connected to a handle. It was designed for close combat and can be used both for striking and for blocking attacks. Wolverine's claws, on the other hand, are retractable metal claws located under the skin on the character's forearms. They serve him for attacking and hooking onto surfaces during combat. Both weapons are designed for close combat, possess precision and speed in use, and are intended for quick and powerful strikes. However, even the qatar has its own features and limitations that make it less effective in certain situations. The main disadvantage is that it is a short weapon, which limits the distance at which attacks can be conducted. This makes it less effective for long-range combat or for defending against long-range attacks. And compared to other types of weapons, such as swords or spears, claws are clearly inferior. They are good for quick strikes in close combat, but less effective for other types of attacks. Using claws requires close physical contact with the opponent, which can be dangerous in combat situations. Despite this, claws still have their advantages and can be an effective weapon in certain situations, especially in the hands of an experienced fighter. But it's important to understand that Wolverine has many other talents besides his claws and regeneration. Wolverine possesses extremely developed senses that allow him to see at great distances, hear almost imperceptible sounds, and have a sense of smell comparable to that of animals. This also gives him a degree of resistance to telepathic attacks thanks to his animal instinct and trained mind. In the Marvel comics, Wolverine is a polyglot. He knows several languages thanks to his long life and the experience he has gained from traveling the world and living in different countries. Among the languages Wolverine can speak are English, Japanese, Russian, and several others. If you've learned something new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Thank you for watching it till the end.